Townsel here with more tips from School Skills 101. It's free to like the video, give it a thumbs up. It's free to leave a comment below. It's free to share this video with someone or a lot of people that you think might benefit from these tips. So let's get started today with 3 more tips from School Skills 101. The first tip for today may remind you of one that we talked about last week, and it is to summarize what you've read. Last week we talked about reading a short paragraph and then trying to restate what you just read. This is going to be a little bit more difficult. After you read a long passage, like maybe a couple of pages or something like that, see if you can stop then and restate what you learned on those pages, that section, something like that. This is going to plug in a little bit more memory, but it's going to plant those ideas and those concepts deeper into your head. So if you can get in the habit of what we talked about last week at the end of a paragraph, now see if you can do like several paragraphs, a longer section, and if you can summarize what you've read. You may have to write this down, but if you can summarize long sections, that's going to be a great set of notes for you. A little time consuming, but we're trying to learn faster, right? Sitting and reading and not remembering is really wasting our time. Speaking of time, how would you like to study in 1/3 of the time? Really? Instead of studying for an hour, you can study for 20 minutes. Does that sound good to you? I'm not going to sleep. And I'm getting exercise at the same time. This is almost a magic trick, and I don't know why more people don't do it, because it really and truly works. Really and truly works. And the simple thing is, instead of reading a textbook, silently, read it aloud. We've talked about this a little bit before, about you want to be comfortable when you're reading, but not too comfortable. But if you can stand up and read aloud to yourself, just set the timer for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, and then stop. Then test yourself, set the timer for the same amount of time, and read silently. And see which way you really cover more ground. What happens when we read silently, one part of our brain is reading, trying to understand, and the other part's thinking about a bunch more stuff that's more pleasant to think about. But when you read aloud, you're forcing more of your brain power to focus on the words, so you're not wasting your time. You're actually getting it read in a shorter amount of time. It sounds crazy, but it's true. The magic part of this is you're learning it 3 times as fast, because while you're reading it, you're seeing it. When you're reading aloud, you're saying it. When you're reading aloud, you're hearing it. So you're using 3 of your senses to learn something 3 times faster. Try it and see if it doesn't work for you. Try it and see if it doesn't work. It really, really does. Just do it somewhere. No one has to listen to you read. No one has to listen to you mispronounce the words or stumble over or read, like some kind of fancy person reading. It's just a trick to help you get the material read faster and to remember it, because you got stuff to do, right? Quit wasting time. When I was studying for my comps for my dissertation, I had tons of stuff I had to memorize, so I just taped all this stuff up on the walls in several rooms of the house. Let me show you what I did. I knew that when I took my comps, I was going to have to memorize many concepts and many references, so I typed up a bunch of my things that I thought I needed to memorize and color-coded them. I printed them out and taped them on the wall. I actually did this in several rooms of my house, and several times a day I would stop at each note station and just read aloud what was on the notes. I had each paper taped exactly the same way in every room of the house, so I got this visual that looked exactly the same no matter what room I was standing in. So the day of my comps, I actually went in and visualized what that wall looked like, and I was able to remember the concepts and the references. And it worked. Then the last tip for today, if you really want to make that tip we just talked about work, if you really, really want to make it work, if it's something that you super, super need to know, like maybe you've got your summaries of your notes, maybe you've got your, whatever that you really need to memorize, record yourself while you're reading it aloud. Then when you're not even paying attention, just play it back over and over and over again. can play it back and I can listen to it over and over and over again without even really much effort at all. Back to preparing for my comps. I actually recorded myself reading aloud the notes that I had prepared, and then I just played them over and over and over again when I was doing chores, cleaning the house, driving, things like that, because repetition does help things to sink in. Thanks for watching today's 3 tips, and these are 3 of my favorite tips. I can almost guarantee you that they'll work. They sound crazy, they sound time consuming, but they're really not. They actually will save you time, and they're almost guaranteed to make you smarter, to remember more of the material. So just, you've got nothing to lose. Actually, you've got a lot to gain. You're going to gain time by doing this, and it's free. So try them and see, and let us know. Let us know how they work for you. Remember, it's free to like, subscribe, share this video if appropriate, leave a comment below, and until next time, study smarter, not harder. Reading may not be fun, but you can make it happen in less time and with more comprehension and more memory if you use these tips. Bye.